All right, friends. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. New week, new challenges, and new project. So today we have a team who's going to present their work on how they solved a business problem on identifying the failures in the servers, and then how do we predict upfront on whether a server is going to go down. So they have picked up server logs and they've tried to use NLP techniques to capture the pattern on the warning messages and error messages and try to predict on upfront on what could be the error that would pop up and the server might go down. So to make sure we don't have any downtime, that is to achieve zero downtime, we have tried to bring in this feature and I would hand it over to the team. Team would walk you through with what challenges that they have faced in achieving this business objectives. And then they will also speak about how they deployed the product. There's a long way to go. This is the first cut of the product. We'll have to embed a lot of new technology or technological enhancements have to brought in. We have to generalize it to all the servers. But first hurdle successfully completed. So I would hand it over to Chitra. Chitra, please take over and you might want to start the presentation and explain about the project.
Thank you, Sharat sir. Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining today. My name is Chitra, and I'm going to present before you our project on server logs.
Chitra, I would ask you to raise your voice a little bit. The audio is a little low from your side. Please, can you speak close to the mic?
Sure. Is it better now?
Yes, a little better. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, sure.
Now, Chitra, you're on mute.
One moment.
Yeah, Chitra?
Just a quick moment here. I think my screen is stuck. Give me a quick moment while I fix it.
Chitra, is there any technical issue?
Yes, Sharat sir. So there is like that. My screen just got stuck, and I should be live any moment now.
Okay, sure.
Okay, I'm sorry about the initial hiccup. Okay, once again, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining in today. For we are going to present before you a project on server logs analysis. Our project is based on application server logs. This is on information technology infrastructure sector. Our focus area is going to be descriptive and predictive analysis. The process we have used is machine learning. Okay. But before we move ahead, I would like to ask a question to all of you, and please use the chat box to post in your answers. Now, how often do we face latency while trying to complete an online transaction or booking a flight, or even while trying to upload a cute selfie on social media? We do, right? So hold on to that thought, and let me quickly take you through the contents of our presentation. All right, so today we would look into the project objective and methodology. Or what we have tried to do is that we have analyzed Windows server logs, and we have tried to study the log to understand that we have tried to understand the error and warning logs uh, and how it actually impacts our functioning on the system. We would then go ahead and introduce our team. So like we definitely divided our work in amongst our team, but then all of us have 100% bragging rights. Then we would look into project constraint and solution. Well, they say if it doesn't change you, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And that is totally true. We would then look into EDA and modeling and the deployment of the project, followed by questions and answers. Now, we would open the forum for questions, and we would love to take questions from the audience. And we would like to answer as many as we can. So, moving ahead. All right. So our project objective was to analyze server logs. Then we, of course, categorize them based on their severity and to identify potential issues in future and accordingly recommend solution. We have followed crisp DM methodology. We began by understanding the business problem. What what actually did error logs and what kind of impact did the error logs and warning logs caused in our day-to-day life? And then we started with understanding data. We extracted our data from event viewer, and we started to by understanding that what exactly is our data providing us with. Moving ahead, we went with data preparation, and when they say that EDA actually takes 80% of our time as a data scientist, that is true. We have undergone that here. After that, moving ahead, we definitely looked into modeling. And while we were working on modeling, we understood that making some more changes on data preparation or probably making some different type of feature engineering did impact our modeling. So that happened here. Post which we moved into evaluation. And it was important that we looked into overfitting and underfitting issues. We looked into how accurate our model was predicting. And after that, we moved into deployment. And I would not give away much. We used Python Flask set for deployment, but then we have the rest of the team to take over. Now, here I would request my esteemed team member Omkar to take over, and he would introduce you to our team members.
Thank you, Chitra. I, I, I am audible.
Yes, Omkar, you are.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just moving ahead. Yeah, just give me one quick moment.
Thank you, friend. Hello. Good evening. I will introduce you my team. Here we are having a 15-member team. First of all, I thanks to 360 and Srush who sponsor us this project. It's it's my opportunity to introduce my team. We are not a technical background person, but still we did a good job. Here is my team: Santosh, Uttam, Anju, Soumya, Pratik, Jonathan, Omkar, myself, Lalit, Vicky, Sarvesh, Tanuj, Samrat, Chitra, and Pawan. Uh, uh, this is the face of we are representing photos here. This are we assume. Chita, next slide, please. We are not okay. We have divided our team in the five. Sorry, Chitra. Before, okay. This is my our team. Now I am handling this next step to Somya, who is presenting architecture diagram and project concern. Please, Soumya.
Hi all, good evening. Am I audible? First of all, I want to know.
Yes, Soumya.
Standing on 7th Feb 2021, I can proudly say that the project which we have actually finished just few days back, this has been one of the most challenging for each and every one of us. And believe me, for the past 5 months, this has been a very tough time for each and everyone. We have been working hard just to encounter and just to remove each and every errors which are coming and just to remove the downturn. This is an overview on which we have actually finished this program. If you see, this is a simple diagram in which we have actually extracted the data, okay, and then we have done an exploratory analysis, data analysis, by which we have tried to study the data. We have tried to study those warning messages and information messages which are creating problems and which can finally lead to error. And we have checked it by applying KNN model. The last part was deployment, which was taken care by one of my friend. And now we can proudly say that this project has been done. Chitra, can you go to the next slide? Okay, click the points, please. Okay, talking about the challenges we faced. Okay, we were saying, or I was saying that we were facing huge amount of problems. The very big problem was that we didn't have the data from which the starting point. We never knew how to start this project. And we extracted this data. There was no data from the client. We extracted this data from the system just to read and analyze the sequence of flow of messages. You can see in the PPT, there are list of solutions and challenges. There were no data. The data was absolutely unstructured. By saying so, I will say that there were multiple blank spaces, special characters which were not allowing us to proceed, which were creating a hindrance. We never knew what ML method, what machine learning method we will be applying to check our points. And as we never knew, we never had any idea what coding we will be doing. Coding was a big challenge. At your right hand side, you can see, friends, that there were the solutions which we were which we have, or which we are providing right now. With challenges, the solutions are always there. So the team worked hard and they extracted the data. They extracted the data to read and study. They did text mining. Each and every word was broken. The tokenization was done. The real expressions were used. And then to study, Chitra, please, yeah. And then to study the warning message, the informational message, and error messages on the same platform, we use the sequential pattern mining, by which we found that the warning messages and the error messages are coming in a sequence. Finally, I am very happy to say that KNN model was applied and we got 99% accuracy that showed that whatever we are thinking, that is absolutely correct. Okay, I will be requesting my friends to take this from this slide.
Thank you, Soumya. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just confirm. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, it's Santosh here. So I will be continuing with exploratory data analysis. So EDA and data cleansing is a third step of CRISP-DM methodology. Exploratory data analysis is the most important step to understand the data through statistical analysis and graphs and plots. So during this graphical analysis, we found out that there were 4 different kinds of logs were popping up. They were information logs, warning logs, error logs, and unknown logs. Chitra, can you just move the slide? Yes. So in this diagram, we can see it's a cat plot. This says during this graphical analysis, we found out that there were 4 different kind of logs. They were like information logs, warning logs, error logs, and unknown logs. From the catalog, it is clear that information log cover most percentage among other logs. Though it is so, we still ignore this information log for analysis because they are the audit logs and doesn't lead to server issues. After analysis and research, we also ignored unknown logs. You can see this red color, unknown logs, because most of them are categorized to information logs. Can you just, Chitra, just move the slides. Yeah, so importing and cleansing of the data. Here, our data set was in .csv format. So we used pandas to import the data. And for cleansing of the data, can you like move to other slide, Chitra? Yes, filter data. So we nearly had some 86,000 records, but in that nearly 20,000 records were containing NaN values and all and unwanted information. So that we deleted nearly 20,000 records and we stick to 66,577 records. So this is all about like filtered data and cleaning of the data. So from this, my friend will continue. And thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I think I'm audible to everyone, right?
Yes, you are
Yes,
audible.
yes.
Okay. So my name is Anju. I'm here to explain what are the steps that we have taken after EDA. So as Santosh has explained, we have, when we are getting the data, it was, as you can see that there were a lot of messages as well and event IDs as well. So firstly, after we do exploratory data analysis, we got some idea about the data, that is the taking only the message part, it's actually not leading to an exact result finally. So we have decided to go check the event IDs, which are very important for the error codes. I mean the error and warning. So what are the chances that the errors are getting to warning, and so it's such a kind of prediction. So we have moved to take extracting the top errors and top warnings, so which we consider 10 maximum errors and 10 max like warning codes. So there are multiple tools that we can use, taking count of from the data that is relevant to our project. So here we have used like a collections and dot counter. So that function has really worked well here. So we are able to extract the top 10 maximum errors and warning codes finally. Yeah. Chitra, can you please move to next slide? Okay. So even after we find out the top 10 error codes and warning codes, still there were no solutions or what kind of severity is actually leading to. That is actually the team has done more research and study, moreover getting a domain knowledge in the particular area in this field, because this is like a log analytics that we are going to do. So server logs analytics. So getting us studying and understanding and all, it was a very important part for our project. So we have taken that lead and we just go to internet, make a study and research, and also help a few subject matter experts in the particular area. We are understood that each of the error codes, the top 10 error codes and warning codes as well, leading to which kind of severity. So as you can see in the figure, we have made that each of them in which it will segregate into which severity. Basis of that, we have segregated into solution as well. So each particular error code will have an severity as well. It's actually getting to what kind of solutions can be given also. We have just created this program as well. Can you move the next slide? Hello, Chitra. Yeah, okay. So after we get that severity, what kind of the solutions and what are the severity is there, and the error codes. So we have now top 10 error codes as well. We have top 10 like warning, a warning ID as well. So now we have to find, this was like an important step that we are taken for sequential pattern algorithm. So this, it's like a finding the patterns that what are the errors and what are the error codes and warning IDs are getting actually, sequence, what are the sequences with the error code. So each warning code occurs in any sequence with the error code can be, we were able to extract by using that in this for loop, and by using this we are able to get that automatically the output that how many times this error codes are occurring the same time with the warning. I mean the warning is coming same time with the error code. So it was something that very important when before we move to the next step as well. So this was the sequential pattern algorithm that we have taken. So from the next part, what after we find out the groups of what the chances of getting to the severity, and after we find out the pairs and everything, next step will be I'm handovering to the my teammate.
Okay, thank you, Anju. And hi, friends. First of all, thank you to all of who are watching this session live, and thank you to Datatix and 360DigiTMG for giving us this opportunity. And so actually it was very difficult actually for getting the data, finding out the data first of all, and passing out the data. So we actually choose the SQL Server Profiler, whereas the SQL Server Management Studio that will actually save your, or like it will store the live data whatever from your Windows system actually. So as our goal is to troubleshoot the performance issues and identifying the threatening alumnus. So a kind of regular log management is being done. So there were like multiple features, but we are only focusing on the features which is actually most important for doing this analysis. So we actually choose the event ID code as mentioned by Anju and Shantosh. So from the whole data, we can see that we have various kind of severity logs, various kind types of logs, you can say. We have the informational logs, which are nothing but the audit success. We have the error logs, and we have something which is unknown, that is in like very less in count. And we have the warning logs as well. So we studied that from the graphical inference also we are getting inference like the total number of information logs of the audit success is the maximum, and after that comes the error logs, and then the warning logs. So as we have seen the inference, like the total number of warning log is less than the count of error logs. So warning logs are something which in future will lead to some kind of error logs. So here we actually faced a problem. We have to find a relationship between the warning logs and the error logs. Actually, we have to find something like how can a warning log may lead to a particular error log. So for that purpose, we have used the event IDs, the event code, and we did research on that, and we found out with the help of sequential pattern mining, uh, the, the output we are getting in the form of integer, where we are actually able to build a kind of pair between the event codes. In the event codes, that belong to the warning logs, and event codes that belong to the error log. So those pairs we are using here to build a relationship, and we are getting a relationship output between two pairs. The first pair belong to the warning log, and the second pair belong to the error log. And between this pair, we are getting a relationship output that is in the form of integer. So this relationship output will tell you how strongly these two pairs are related to each other. And one thing in the whole data, we have multiple numbers of event IDs. We have multiple numbers of event codes actually. So we actually find out the top occurring and the top occurring event codes, which are actually occurring the most of the time. And we have only selected the top 10. And using the top 10, we are finding out the relationship between each and every event ID. So the input was taken, uh, 10 inputs are taken in the both the side, and we are able to find a relationship which comes out to be a 100 pair. And from that 100 pair, we saw that not all the pairs are actually building a relationship. Only some kind of pairs is actually building a relationship, and we are only using those pairs for finding a relationship between the warning and the error. So, Chitra, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, yeah. So, during this case study in the relationship, we just find out that some of the pairs are actually like top 15 or top 10 pairs are actually building a relationship, and that is actually a strong relationship. And is warning log, a single warning log may lead to multiple kind of error as well. So there is also a chance that a single kind of event code may indicate to event code that belongs to multiple event code that belongs to error log as well. So for that, we just find out the percentage of that as well. Suppose in the first row, we can see in the pair 1, the event ID, which is 1, is related to 15. And the second row, the event ID 1 is also related to event code 100. So we have also find a aggregate percentage. At what percentage these two are related. So basically, the warning log, we have classified the severity level according to the relationship with the error logs. And before that, we have already classified the error logs into 4 severity level. That is the severity 1, severity 2, severity 3, and severity 4. So after that, we are also finding at what percentage this event codes will be interlinked. Chitra, can you move to the next slide? Yeah. So this is same thing. You can see one is leading to severity 2. That this one actually belong to pair 1, which is nothing but a event code of warning log, and it's leading to severity 2 with 48 percentage, and one is also leading to severity 3 with 51 percentage, and like so. So from here, we can't just actually classify it into a particular severity level. So maybe a warning log may lead to some kind of error in the future, and that error may lead to 4 kind of severity. So we also got a challenge here to find out like what kind of warning log may lead to what severity in the future. So moving to the next slide. These are nothing but the projections we have stamped here. Uh, some of the examples that have been given. These projections, suppose the warning log with message 1, this are actually leading to severity 2 with 48%, severity 3 with 51%, and the total aggregate severity for this warning message will be 100%. So moving to the next slide. Okay. Categorization of error messages and the particular solution that we will give for it. So it was actually a big challenge. We can't actually a warning message, as I already said, it can't be classified into a single severity. So there is some kind of percentage, or you can say some kind of probability is there, possibility is there that it may lead to multiple kind of severity. So we have classified it into percentage first of all, and we can see the level column where we have actually classified it with the help of percentage. And we also give a solution column. Suppose this particular warning log is occurring in future, then it may lead to some kind of severity with this much percentage, and what probable solution we can do for it. That will be also popped up. Okay, so as we all know, the KNN model. So actually, before that, while doing the complete analysis, we use some kind of like Ansible model also. You can say a cocktail type of model where we are just uh, doing this thing with multiple models, but we came up to the KNN model to be the best preferable. And we all know it's a supervised kind of supervised learning technique where the data we have already classified now, the information logs we have also already classified as to as no severity, because it will not lead to any kind of error. And the warning log, with the help of sequential pattern mining, we have classified it as well. And the allen log, with the help of research with the event id, we have classified it. Now the complete data has been classified. Now we have to feed that data into some kind of model, and we prefer that KNN model is actually giving the best accuracy. So now the thing is, we have the output that is actually a categorical output. So we have mapped those things into some numerical value. That numerical value, now this became, as the output is now numerical, it became a predictive model. So with the like KNN with k value is equal to 5, we came up to a like threshold value where we are actually getting the maximum accuracy. And below, after that, if we further increase the k value, maybe the accuracy will again decrease. So from here, the like splitting of the data is done, and into training and test and validation, and we have predict the training accuracy, the testing accuracy, and we are getting actually 99% accuracy here. And this model is actually working perfect, and it's actually predicting each and every uh, logs that is coming into the picture in the future. So that's it. Now I will further hand over this to Pratik. He actually done the things deployment thing. So Pratik.
Yeah, uh, thank you. I have developed the Flask application. In that Flask application, whatever the team has done, we have put it into a pre-processing module, and then we have made an app. I'll demonstrate the working of the application. Uh, Please allow me to share the screen.
Chitra, would you stop screen sharing? Yeah, Pratik, you will be able to share your screen now.
Yeah. So this is the coding part we have done for the Flask, the application main part. In the front end, we have used HTML, CSS, and in the back end we have used Flask application. When we run this application, we will see the following output. So in this, we input our server log files, and then upload it. When I click on upload, the model pre-processes and generates an input. Again, I think the application is not responding. Yeah, the file is now successfully uploaded and pre-processed, and now we can download the report. So this report contains the comparison of how it's predicting the results. That's it from my side.
Hello, Chitra, can you move to the next slide, please? Last one. Chitra, are we audible? All right. So my name is Pawan Sharma. Okay. This is the last slide of the presentation. So we already have discussed in depth about the objective and the major objective, which is impacting almost all lines of business in today's world, be it a sports channel or a banking site or a Facebook. All these websites are related somewhat to the server logs, and the performance are getting impacted. So that was the ultimate objective for this of this project, to ensure that we predict a model which bases the logs generated can help us determine what can be a probable problem in future and recommend solutions to remove or eradicate any kind of downtime and improve the performance of the system and enhancement of profit for the company we are working for. Since data was not provided, as Sarath sir told, it is just one bit of it. It's an extensive process which would also involve a lot of further steps. However, we built a generic model basis the data that we had generated. So nothing much more from our side. If anybody have any questions related to this, please feel free to ask and we will try to answer those questions. In the group chat, we don't see any questions as of now. Sarvesh, do you see any questions in the YouTube right now?
No, Pawan, not at time. No.
So, Sarath, that is all we had to present for the day.
Hey, that's wonderful, guys. Thank you so much. Wonderful effort. We will see how to take this product even further to the next level. And yeah, thank you so much, guys.
We have one question in the chat box, and the question is from Kavita Reddy. The question is, I have one question in the... Shall we take the question now?
Yes.
Sure. So the question is it necessary to split the data into 3 sets instead of 2?
Data into 3 sets. she talking about the test and training data set or something else? Kavita, if you can slightly elaborate the question.
Okay, I think, Pawan, the question is regarding splitting of the data into training, test, and validation.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and answer that, please go ahead.
Yes, normally that's the process it is. We normally bifurcate the data set into 3 categories or 2 categories, and we work on that. It is necessary because first of all we bifurcate and then we test. Training and test and validation, all 3 steps are very, very important to check the performance of the model.
Yeah, Kavita Reddy, I just want to, Santosh here. I just want to add one more point. Yes, it is of course necessary to split the data into 3 data sets, that is like train, test, and validation. Because to overcome the issue of information leak. Thank you. So that like for the we just train the model on the training data set, and for testing we use the validation data set. For the final result, we use testing data set to get the final test accuracy.
And I will just add more point into it. Like if anytime, like if you are doing any like hyperparameters tuning or any changes you are doing into the model, then having splitting the data in three form, like testing, training, and validation is like very much efficient to do. And like further, you can actually check your accuracy in the validation data as well, apart from the testing data. So for that purpose, we also do.
Does that answer your question, Kavita? Okay, thank you. And thank you for asking that question to us. We have another question. And if one of us could briefly explain that, how would this prevent net banking? Something like this. How would this help in net banking transactions if one of us could briefly explain? That is the next question.
So,
see, see, we all are using like net banking applications in our like mobile phone as well, and such as the Phone Pay, the Google Pay. So everyone from us may have faced this problem, right? Your current bank is not responding right now. Maybe some kind of transaction failure will pop up. So most of the time it's occurs. So suppose whatever transaction is going on, whatever this thing, whatever these are all going on in the server, and everything is stored in a kind of database that is in the back end of it. So from that and whatever those information are stored in the form of logs. So logs are something which is actually very private in the form, like it's very secure, so no one actually share it. From that you can get like many personal information as well. So from that log, if we are able to access that log, and from that log we can actually predict like where a particular log have happened, and it's actually turning up to like server down in the future. So if that thing we can predict, so maybe in the future, if suppose a particular log is occurring, then we can predict, right? Maybe in the next 1 hour, maybe your server may go down. So for that, we may actually go to the network engineer again, and we'll tell them that the server may go down at that time. So you should do something like for that your server should not go down.
And just to add on to this, we might people who use banking application, you might have seen messages coming from the bank that our server may be down from this to this time. Why do they send this kind of messages? Just to ensure during this period, basis the they can clear out the server defects and ensure the system performance is not impacted. And also at times when we visit bank manually, we get to hear from the bank is, okay sir, we cannot do this transaction right now because the server is not responding. This is one of the most common language used by bankers whenever they face any issues. And all this are because of the different kinds of logs which are generated at backend, impacting the performance of the system. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, very
Okay.
well.
They say thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
very well put up, guys. Yeah, do we have any questions? Okay, no questions, I see. Okay, anyone has any further questions, friends who have logged in YouTube? If you have any further questions, you can post it, or you can also connect with us on LinkedIn. We are very happy to help you out, or I can redirect you to the team so that they can also directly respond to you. All right, with that, let us conclude for the day, and thank you. All the best for the future, and thank you all, guys. Good night and be safe. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarat.